Good evening. My name is María-Cristina Fusté, and I'm the Executive Artistic Director of Boundless Theater Company. We would like to welcome you all to Boundless Exposed and thank you for being part of this experiment. Boundless Exposed is our annual workshop and mentoring program for emerging designers of color. Each year, Boundless links early career participants with talented peers and established mentors to create an original installation design. The program gives young designers a space to explore what design can be. This year's Boundless Exposed participants faced a very unique challenge: how to create and construct an original installation design without being in the same space. What does theater design look like when the design team members are socially distancing in different spaces, different states, and even different countries? Our 4 designers have been creating work, conducting experiments, and generating ideas in 4 different locations. For the final showcase, their separate creations as design have been implemented together in a fit space by the Boundless team. Tonight, you will see their original design come to life with the performance of Dream of Hornets by Mariana Carreño and performed by Edna de Jesus. You will also receive a glimpse into the design process assembled from recordings of our visual meetings and video diaries kept by the participants. Please stay with us after the performance for a Q&A, which is a key element of the process for them. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the designers. This piece was created by costume designer Nia Atwater, lighting designer Bentley Heydt, scenic designer Amy Tsai, and apprentice scenic designer Ambar Colón Fargas. Thank you and enjoy the show.
We've been tasked with producing a performance piece that will present over Zoom.
We're all navigating, right, how theater is going to translate in this virtual space. It's something that I'm worried about, and from what was discussed, I think we're all worried about it, really.
We have some logistical questions that kind of need answering in terms of how this is all going to work. We spent a lot of time talking about that.
Now I have to change my perspective and my thought process to light for a phone camera or a webcam, as we're all adapting to this new chapter in theater as we try and stay afloat artistically during quarantine.
I'm really excited about the new ways of thinking of theater making, because the stage is not just one single theater and it's not limited to people in one space. It also enables us, maybe just through these technology or platforms, to reach out to people all around the world.
I think we're in really good shape in terms of research, because even before everyone presented, I was overwhelmed by how many overarching concepts we had together. So I think we're in a unified visual concept.
Some of the themes that were presented in their last meeting were the use of lines, texture, black and white, and the absence of color. The use of shadow to add dimension, depth, and texture on the face or on a body, potentially, to maybe have the idea to create a space on the body.
If we could add those elements to the set, not even having a set per se, the shadows, the textures, the body in the space is the set itself.
To apply texture, I saw this really cool images of chicken wire people. I don't know how practical chicken wire is, but I don't know, it's something to explore.
I've been playing a lot with this miniature theater that I have set up, but I'm playing with angles, and as you can see, just from this interesting side angle, the shadows on the wall create something kind of looks like a face, and we're playing with this idea of what shadow can bring to this story.
at this moment, it just feels like, we began to notice things that we probably like in the past, in like the old normal life, that we wouldn't pay any attention to. It's just like the minor sound in our life just gets amplified.
I've always wanted to experiment white noise in theater, the use of white noise as sound.
I was just about to say, ever since our last meeting, I've been thinking of like this faint hum. It's like sounds you would hear around your house or sounds you would hear normally, but now it's becoming, too much.
In this rendering, I literally just had a model, it's like this one, and I pulled holes from the back, and so it really, like, seen from afar, it might feels like a bunch of like holes and feels like honeycomb, but like if you see it closer, and especially when it's lit from the back, like those little dots, which might not be visible in the beginning, will make like the shape feels like a tree. We're thinking of like broken chairs with similar shapes, for example, like some of them don't have like the back, and some of them, they're missing like a leg or two. So yeah, and I think that really reflects like sort of like the broken nature of it.
In my mind, like the world was going to start very cold and porous and kind of this nightmarish, surreal environment. But in the text, whenever we initiate this like human contact, both the language and for me, like just the emotional impact of that, I felt like the language was changing to more of a hopeful tone. As it stands right now, I've latched onto this amber color that we've been discussing throughout as, to me, kind of that this emotional relief of sorts that we get to in the play. That was what triggered this idea of like this little bit of warmth percolating into the world.
I feel like there is maybe a businesswoman, a part of the corporate world in her day-to-day life, but now all of this is happening. So, maybe she's used to getting up and getting dressed and putting on this sort of like uniform. Now that her life is interrupted and her dreams are kind of being bombarded by the things that are happening in her world, that's where the idea for the silhouette comes in. The day that Amy introduced the idea of the honeycomb and we kind of started going into the direction of like, real bees, I was really fascinated by these photos of their wings. And so I kind of incorporated that into the skirt. I kind of just pasted those ideas onto, something she might really wear in daily life, but now it's kind of hyper-realized and abstract because of the things that are going on in her mind.
We have the show designed after a couple of weeks of really going on a journey to find our way through the script and the show, and it's been an interesting process for seeing how everything has evolved from our beginning conversations to where we are now.
We were allowed so much territory and just a huge playground to create, and then the Boundless mentors would kind of help bring us back to reality, but still remain true to our sometimes ambitious design choices.
I'm really honored to work with the talented peers, Bentley, Nia, and Amber, the professional crew, as well as the amazing mentors. It's definitely challenging and interesting at the same time to work at this uncertain moment, but I am deeply inspired and have learned a lot from this designer-led collaborative effort.
This really has been an experience about really learning how to make decisions and how to be more confident. Honesty, voicing out your opinions, and really taking consideration the creative process. Like, how did we get from one point to the other point? It's very, 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 very important.
πολίτες σε όλο τον κόσμο βρίσκονται σε κρίσιμη κατάσταση, καθώς οι στρατιωτικές δυνάμεις επιβάλλουν αυστηρές απαγορεύσεις κυκλοφορίας και προφωνούν διαδηλωτές ιδέων. Η έλλειψη τροφίμων σε όλο τον κόσμο
They're coming closer! Hear the roar? You get used to the sound. Look up. Smell. You get used to the sound. Look up the smell. You get used to the sound. Look up. Smell.
They always existed, dormant for a long time, but they're here now, and no one knows how to eliminate them for good. Thousands dead, even children. The world is terrified. The streets are empty. Not even the moon comes out at night. Nature is taking over, finally! Think about the bees. The plague infiltrates their hive. They decapitate the bee, including their queen, and they fly away with their thoraxes to feed their hive. In less than 20 minutes, an entire colony is dead. A bag of rice, a bag of beans, 20 cans of soup and fake vegetables, sugar, flour. Bees have always been in danger from global warming, habitat loss, insecticides, basically humans. But now, we've found our common enemy. Poetic justice. No fresh fruit or vegetables, no salt, no chocolate, no flowers. I miss having flowers around. I miss the colors. We're living in black and white. How long will this last? No information. Vigilants in hazmats or beekeeping suits patrol the street, but the plague gets through them. They say it's like fire in their veins. Not many survive. But we're lucky. Many are starving. Without bees, there's no pollination. Without pollination, there is no produce. Without produce, we die! It's not good for your soul to think like that! Oh! We break bread from the wheat that remains. We break bread from the wheat that remains. Monthly food rations? Better than nothing. Thank you for the company. It's better than alone. And thank you for my window. I can look out. I mostly see a brick wall, but if I crane my neck, I can see a little bit of sky. Didn't matter when I could dream. I could dream of the forest. I could dream of the ocean. I could dream of red sunsets like the ones we used to have. The plague lives in my head now. Lentils, 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 lentils. I used to hate lentils. Ugh. But there's so many bags of lentils now.
Can they see us through the window? Maybe they're looking into our souls. Maybe they're living in everybody's head now. Fear and anger, it's a feeling that crawls and buzzes everywhere and nowhere, and it approaches you when you least expect it.
Some bee colonies have learned to defeat the plague. When it enters the colony, hundreds of honeybees form a ball around it. Individual bees don't stand a chance when faced with it, but when they work together, their buzzing and vibrations, they raise up the temperature to more than 100 degrees. The bees can't stand the heat, but the plague is burn. Hope. Can you hear it? The buzzing? We failed as species, but we're not alone.